All right, guys, welcome everybody to the last session, which is going to be a rerun of whatever seminars we did in India. Hi, Niket, Deepak Jadhav, Jyoti, Sankar. All right. So we have some viewers in the starting. Ankit Gotwal, Sufi Khan. Welcome everybody. So hopefully we are going to be able to help you in making a decision about rather should you go for Germany at all, or is it just some kind of infatuation which you are like pretty much struggling with? Like, is it something for the longer term, or is it just something that you have an idea about, or like more about just like dreaming a bit or something? No? So with that, I want to start the seminar slowly and slowly. Welcome everybody, whoever is watching. This is also going to count as the last live session that I will be having in quite a while. So like after this, most probably the live sessions on YouTube will be suspended and all of the live sessions will be done purely in the Big Academy enrolled students group, right? So today's topic is everything about Germany, and we are going to go through the stories, and then we will go to the steps, and then we will make this final decision. One important thing is that everybody who wants to ask questions, don't worry, we will have the last 20 minutes time just purely for questions. So we have like I think around 18 slides or something. We go through them. Most of your questions will be covered in this already. If it's still not covered, then you have another 20 minutes time at the end to just ask your questions. Right now you can just chill out, you can go through the presentation, and then prepare your questions then. All right then. So first of all, I don't know how many of you know about my story. I think like if you are following the other channel Churcha with Chaudhary, you must be aware with the most of it. But the ones who aren't, I was born in 1995, and like this timeline is going to cover everything up to 2016. So the story is really important because, to be honest, information is something that you can find in a lot of places, and like the quality of information is not reliable. You never know if the information you're finding is the correct one or not. But the thing that is going to make you stay in Germany and just persevere over a long time is a story with which you can connect to. Now, so here we are going to take that part up. So I was born in on 1st January 1995. Many people still believe it's like it couldn't be a real date, although many others also have the same birthday. But in Germany, if you try to explain that to the public authority, they are like, I don't think it's possible. So yeah, I was born there. Pretty much that's how the story starts. Then afterwards, I had my preschooling in Germany. So from 97 till 99, I was in Freiburg. And I was going to a kindergarten. Everything was super nice, and this is pretty much where the first ideas of Germany got built up in my mind. And then of course everybody comes back, this 10th class starts, and this whole IIT drama that everybody wants to go into IIT. Everybody's trying to go and figure out a way to get the best coaching available. Parents are throwing money like insane. All of these things hamper a lot of the development of students for these pretty much impressionable years. And then afterwards, I started my BTech in Decrust from 2012. Like it is for 4 years. So like in the first 2 years, I didn't really go to Germany. That's why all of these have been covered here. And then afterwards, I went to a conference. The conference name was International Association for the Advancement of Space Safety. Had absolutely nothing to do with civil engineering. But let me put this thing here so that you guys can see what is going on next. Yeah, but again, like the main thing was that I figured out that this conference is in Germany. So if it is in Germany, this is something I want to do. This is something I want to attend to. And this is why I just wrote the abstract. I sent the research paper and it got accepted. So like that's around the time when I met Alina in Friedrichshafen. So I met her in Freiburg. We were going at the same train towards Friedrichshafen. And yeah, for more details about this, if you haven't checked the Chaudhry's series out on Alina's channel. You should definitely take a look there. We are talking about how we met and everything. Then afterwards, towards the end of the third year, I found another internship. So the internship was at Schleich Bergemann Partner in Berlin, and it was really important because it pretty much shaped how the future things are going to work out for me. For example, if I would be getting the part-time job at the place I actually got, if I would be actually getting the master's position, because during masters too I had a lot of drama in the sense that I got rejection first, and then afterwards, after a lot of fight, I got the place. And it was, of course, like these were just the tiny things that we in India don't know about, because all of these small laws or all of these small rules are written in very, very tiny details on the rejection letter. And this is where this whole reconsideration thing started. Nobody ever knew about it before that, or at least nobody decided to share it with others. And like, I was the first person to do that. And all of this pretty much started with this tiny thing, the internship at Schleich Bergemann Partner. Then afterwards, the internship ended, and after that, also with master thesis and everything, my bachelor's ended. As soon as the bachelor's ended, so like this timeline is going to cover from 2016 till 2019. So as soon as the bachelor's ended, I started my structural engineering at TUHH. And it was a German taught program, of course, but again, like you will see afterwards, that I just didn't feel like it. Because structural engineering was a bit challenging. Everything that we used to do in India, the Indian standard codes and everything was absolutely different, and it took some time to like get used to the stuff here. And meanwhile, I thought, if I'm having so many problems in like, actually starting my master's here and studying, like this could be something very interesting, that if I just start putting YouTube videos and just not repeat myself every single moment, because that's how it used to happen. Every single time one of my friends would ask me how is the whole application procedure and everything, that was a problem. Like nobody would understand that it is getting repetitive. So like, to avoid that, I started making YouTube videos so that I don't have to respond to the same questions over and over again. And then afterwards I had my first India meetup. Absolutely nobody showed up. I think around 20 people registered there, and well, none of them actually showed up. Then I changed my course from structural engineering to EV. So like, EV is Internationales Wirtschaftsingenieurwesen, still a German taught program. Well, they call it bilingual in the sense that it has 20% subjects in English, and 20% subjects means just 3 subjects. So it still doesn't count for me like anything. Like, I still call it German taught program, because if you have to take some nice courses, it is still going to be the German taught program. Like, they're all going to be taught in German. That's why I call it the German taught program, International Management Engineering. And I'm still continuing that almost towards the end of it. Then we did the second India meetup. More than 1.2 thousand people showed up. Then afterwards, I started the big academy, and we crossed 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. It was 2018. And then afterwards, this time, we met around 4,000 people in India. And this is why I thought, like, many of you who couldn't actually join us in those major cities, we can also like have a last like session where we can just conclude everything, and I tell you about how the seminar was. And like, this is a rerun of the seminar with some of the extra slides and some like extra courses included, so you can just go through it very, very closely. Alright, so till now, if you see till the back side, it was the story part here at the bottom. Well, it's hidden now, but that was the story thing. And now we are going to go towards the steps thing. Now, this is just a format that I love to follow in most of my videos, and this is what we are going to do here too. So the problem with bachelor's in Germany is because the German education for university actually requires you 13 years of education instead of just 12 ones. No? And this is the reason you have to do one extra year somehow. And from somehow I mean either you have Studienkolleg, or you have after 1 year of bachelor's in India, or you directly clear your JEE mains, then they see, all right, you have enough proficiency to like directly jump to the next one, or after diploma. No? So here are the three ways like you can have your 1 year covered. I wouldn't still say like after diploma it's very viable because it isn't recognized by uni assist like the diploma thing, and also like if you only apply to universities directly, only then you will get the benefit of this diploma, because most of the other universities are going to purely reject you on the basis that you have a diploma, and diploma isn't recognized internationally, only like bachelor's and master's are. And this is the problem with that. One university that you can go for or like look for is this Deggendorf University. It's not a big university, but still, if you have done diploma, this could be something where you could apply. At least like Deggendorf is something that we know which accepts diploma. No? Then if you're in your 12th already, I would like really highly suggest that you start learning German already. Like even if you're in 10th, I don't care, like, just have your B2 ready till the time your 12th is done. Because then with your mark sheet of your 12th and your B2 certificates and everything, you have to apply to different Studienkollegs. And then afterwards, once they accept your application, they will ask you to come and write a Aufnahmeprüfung. So again, for Aufnahmeprüfung, you have to apply for a normal student visa, but the blocked account will be just of 3 months. And then you have to cover 1 extra year of studies in Germany, which is going to be your Studienkolleg. They are just going to teach you the same subjects again, which are taught in German school to German students for the preparation of Abitur. So Abitur is like their end of school studies and an entrance to the universities. For you, it is going to be the FSP, which is the Feststellungsprüfung. So it is, you can already like just think of it like some kind of, how do I say, like a JEE advanced thing. Like this is going to be what will give you a place in any of the German universities. No? And also people ask this question here that, how is it going to be if I write the FSP of one university? Can I also use it? Can I also use the result of that FSP for other universities? Well, that is going to be absolutely possible. So like FSP isn't something that you have to give separately for every single university. You give it for one university and the others are going to be working. No? Then you have the B2 recommended. So like I said here, like B2 is absolutely recommended when you're like writing the Aufnahmeprüfung too. And you have to apply for the temporary student visa. So like this is going to go for 3 months. And more information for this, you can go to studienkollegs.de. No? And then comes your the last alternative that we have. It is like after doing 1 year of bachelor's in India or clearing your JEE mains. So like I would rather suggest, if you have already cleared JEE mains, just go directly to IIT and like experience the culture there. And if you haven't cleared this JEE mains, then you can do your first year of bachelor's in India. And with the grades of that, with the transcripts of the first year, you can apply to the German universities in the bachelor's programs. You can like apply for the English taught ones. Yes, not a problem at all. But for German taught ones, again, you have to show the German proficiency of at least like B2.2, sometimes C1. It depends from university to university. And what else? Yeah, like the sad thing here is like you will be really restricted in what kind of courses you can choose in afterwards. Because after first year of bachelor's in India, they already think that, all right, maybe you're only suitable. Like if you start your bachelor's in computer science, they will only put you in computer science here. They will not consider you for mechanical and stuff. So like this is something that you have to take in mind. And this is also the reason like Studienkolleg is the best one. If somebody is offering you that you can write the Aufnahmeprüfung or like even the Feststellungsprüfung, you can prepare for the Feststellungsprüfung in India itself, then you can do that. It's absolutely fine. No? but just see if that is a legitimate institution. If it is not, then of course it doesn't make sense. Um, Also, more details of this is covered in the section 2, lesson 2 of the complete guide to studying in Germany. So, like the students who are enrolled already or who will be enrolling after the seminar, you can check this lesson out after the end of the session. All right. And for this one, like I said, we will be having this in the section 3 and lesson 2 of the complete guide to studying in Germany. But I want to really compare if German taught programs are something for you or the English taught programs are something you should go for. Nah? Because it's not about the short term efforts that you have to make. Like, English taught programs are extremely easy, but again, it has a lot of problems, especially when you're studying that in a country like Germany. Although the German ministry and the government has tried its best to like market Germany as an international country where language is not a problem and stuff like that, but it isn't really the case. So here you have to understand very clearly that it is a different country. It is a country where German is spoken more often than English, and also then you should like understand it like that. So for German taught courses, you have to learn German till B2, and then afterwards, like, this is going to be your application deadline. So till application deadline you have B2, and then afterwards when you're having the enrollment deadline, many a times till enrollment deadline you have to submit the testa 4x4. So like you can also already write the testa 4x4 here, and then you can apply for the courses. Like, that's also fine. Then you don't have to show any kind of like new documents afterwards. Also, it is possible, like, so for example, no IELTS is required, especially when it's a purely German taught program. In my course in international management engineering, which I'm studying, I had to show IELTS and I also had to show testa 4x4. So like I had to show both of these language competencies. Of course, like, you have way more courses in German taught programs here, and even if you look at that, like, it will show you that there are 21,000 something courses in total on that, and like I think 2,000 of them are just for masters. But when you like just choose the international ones, you will just end up with like 140 or something. So this is how less it is. It's just like 10% of the entire courses which are taught for masters are English taught programs. The rest 90% are all German taught programs. So you have to like also take care about that too. There's going to be less competition, of course, because like most of the people are lazy and they don't want to learn the language. So when they don't want to learn the language, it just leaves the space for a lot of other students to actually come and take those seats which are like having no competition at all. Absolutely. In TUHH, the situation was like so chilled out that as long as now again I've discussed this in another video, which is called the Zulassungsbeschränkt and Zulassungsfrei courses. So Zulassungsbeschränkt are the courses in which the number of applications are more than the number of seats. And the Zulassungsfrei courses are in which the number of applications are way less than the number of seats. That means anybody who applies and who fits the requirements is selected for the master's program. So many of the German taught programs are also like Zulassungsfrei courses. Then you have your, of course, like the very, obvious that you have more secure job opportunities. People who come for English taught programs, they complain a lot that, in Germany you earn so less that it is like not worth it when you compare it with US and stuff like that. But what they don't understand is like their own laziness is costing them money, because if they would actually learn German, sometimes like it can affect your salary up to like 1,200 euros or even more per month. So again, like, learning German is never a bad investment, and something that you should absolutely focus on if you want to come to Germany. Then, of course, you have no percentage bar. That means even if you have 55% or something, you are able to apply for the German taught programs. It's not a problem at all. Now, for English taught programs, the story is entirely different. Writing IELTS with at least 6.5. So, like, you also have universities which give you 5.5. You have universities which give you 6. like which accept you with 6, but that is not the norm. The standard is 6.5. Now with 6.5 you are almost able to apply to every single university in Germany. There are also some universities which accept 7. So again, like the exact details are always on the university's website, but the standard is 6.5. You can also study English taught programs without writing any IELTS. So for that I've also made a video, and you can just check that video out on YouTube. It's called like studying in Germany without IELTS, something like that. You can take a look at that too. Then you also generally do not need any German. That is the fun thing. Although meanwhile, some universities have started putting out these requirements that you need to show at least B1, you need to show at least B2 or something like that, and even in English taught programs. And the reason is this: most of the times you think that the German universities are just taking you in, they will just train you, and then they will let you go into the job sector or something. But many students aren't even capable of that, because they just cannot survive in the German working culture or even in the social culture for a long time. And this is the reason why this is happening, that universities are actually putting up restrictions that you need to show B1 even for an English taught program, just because they know that whatever resources the government and the university puts inside you are actually being utilized in Germany itself, so that you're able to actually work in Germany after you've done your master's there. So a very important point, and something that you absolutely have to understand and remember. Then of course you have like more international environment, and I don't think if that's a very positive thing. Like, you're anyways a person who has no idea about Germany, and then you're thrown inside with other people who also have no idea about Germany. So like it just becomes a weird kind of group where like you don't understand anything about the culture. Like 2 years are gone and you're still like, maybe in your Indian circle, maybe in your some South Asian circle, maybe you're some with Italians, French people, who knows what. But you will still not be able to like network with Germans like you would be able to do in the German taught programs. And so this is something that I wouldn't really suggest just on that part, that it's just like more international environment, but you are coming to study in Germany. So like, what's the point of that? If you want to actually integrate into the German society afterwards, try to go for the German taught programs. That's like way better. You also have good job opportunities, but nowhere compared to the more like these to the job opportunities that you get after German taught programs. And the main reason is just this: for English taught programs, when you will see that only 1% of the entire companies, which are the medium and not even medium, the large corporations, not the MNCs, only those are the people which actually hire people with English taught these programs, these master programs. Most of the other ones, the small and medium enterprises, they will not even like consider most of the times people with English taught master's program if they don't have any German proficiency. So 99% of the companies which are small and medium enterprises, they are going to favor the students who have studied the German taught program. And these are the things that nobody else will tell you. Like, everybody will be crying about how easy it is to study in Germany, and like how English taught programs is something that you can easily come with, and they themselves will never know any shred of German. And I don't blame them for that, because they have never really tried the other way. But like I'm telling you, like, this is very important to understand if you want to like survive in Germany for the longer term. Like, rather try to go for German taught programs if you are looking to come here and stay here for the longer duration. If you want to like go back to India after like your master's is done, then English taught programs is something that you can take benefit of. And also you have the details covered in section 3 and lesson 2 of the complete guide to studying in Germany here. This is like just a preview. You will find more resources there for the students who want to enroll, or like for the students who are already enrolled in the course. Then, we are going in a proper funnel here. So like, very closely understand and remember that first we talked about should you at all go for the German taught programs or for the English taught programs. Then we are going to come to the process of actually applying to university. So like you have three different ways. The first one is directly on university's portal. So most of the universities have their own portals. You can apply for this. You can apply for the courses there. Nah, and it doesn't cost anything, and that's the fun thing. Like most of the times, it wouldn't cost anything at all, and that's great because with UniAssist you have to pay 75 euros for the first application, or like just for registering yourself and the first application, and for the second application onwards you have to like send like, or like you have to pay 30 euros extra. So maybe if you're applying for two courses which are in different universities, then you have to pay 105 euros just for the UniAssist thing. No? Then comes the VPD from UniAssist. So like the third mode is that you get a VPD from the UniAssist. The process is the same. Like applying to UniAssist, you will be sending the same documents, but UniAssist will be sending you back a pre-evaluation report. And with this pre-evaluation report, you are going to take all of the documents and upload again on the university's portal. So these are the three different ways. Now, alright, then the next one is application deadline. So each course has its own deadline, and something that you absolutely have to remember. If somebody tells you very easily that, all of the courses are ending on 15 July, or already all of the courses are ending on 15 January, make sure that this is something which is just being said as a rule of thumb, and well, this is not something which is absolutely true for every single course, because every single course has its own deadline. If you look at the TUHH thing, if you just look at the TUHH story, the international programs are ending on 31st March, nah? And then the German taught programs, they are ending, like their application is ending on 15 July. This is how big the difference is. Then comes, like, of course, like these are the general deadlines again. Like for October, like for winter intake, you have 15 July, nah? And for summer intake, which starts in April, so like the semester in which I am right now, it starts, like the application ends on 15th January. Then of course, like more details are covered in section 3 and lesson 18 of Complete Guide to Studying in Germany for the students who are planning to actually taking up the course. Now, like I said, we are in the funnel again. We talked about, masters in Germany, what kind of courses you should choose, and like what are the pros and cons of both of these courses. Then comes how do you apply to those courses, and then comes the visa process. So like the visa process is pretty easy. The visa process isn't that hefty, but the two peculiar documents that you see in the visa process are still like the blocked account. You have like Coracle's blocked account, which is actually one of the nicest on the market right now because it's pretty cheap, affordable, and it's pretty fast. So like in case you have any kind of like you're making the blocked account in just 3-4 days, then Coracle is something that you can go with, because around like 3-4 days the blocked account is already done. Alright, so 720 euros per month. Now you have that. This is the amount that the students have to ensure to the German government, that 720 euros per month is something that you would be able to access when you're in Germany. And for this, you make a blocked account. That means you take all of this money, 8,640 euros, put in a blocked account in Germany. So like put in an account in Germany and you block it. And you don't block it, like there are some other companies which do it for you. And then they send like the 720 euros every single month to you. The limit is increasing now, so like from in the future you have to actually start submitting 735 euros because inflation and everything, and like that's the issue with that. Then regarding if it's compulsory or not, yes, like it is mandatory for the non-EU students. You can also look for the Verpflichtungserklärung, so like a sponsorship letter or something from some of the relative who is in Germany, if we can fund your studies, that is also fine. But for most of the other people, like this is going to be the case, like you have to make a blocked account, and this is how things are going to work. So to ensure that you can survive yourself, like I said, and it is compulsory for the first year, and next year you can show your part-time work contract or funds in the normal account. Now this is again something which is different for every single um, state. So for example, in Hamburg, that's the case. Like you can show your normal bank account, and on the basis of that, they will actually extend your visa. In some other states, I've seen that it is not possible, and you have to show the blocked account for the second year too. So like you quickly make a blocked account there too, and you can just directly go there with that. Um, then you also have what do I say? Visa will not be granted without the blocked account. Yes, very important thing. If you do not have the blocked account, or if you don't have the sponsorship letter, then visa will not be provided to you. Then the next thing comes the health insurance, right? So in the health insurance, like the exact amount is I think 92 euros or 93 euros per month. But again, so in general, this is a mandatory thing that everybody has to pay who is living in Germany. You have to pay 90 euros per month of health insurance to the state now, and yeah, like that is the story. Like, and with that you have all of the free visits to the doctors. Many of the operations are free, which is really nice. Like you don't have to pay every single time when you are going to the hospital or something. If you're staying in the hospital though, you have to pay 10 euros per day, I think, something like that. But that is like very minimum. It's like absolutely maybe just 1% of the cost which will be incurring to you. Nah. Like I said, most of the medical expenses and doctor visits are done. Coracle provides your UHI, so health insurance, just with your admit when you're in India. And this is also the fun thing, that you don't actually have to wait till you're in India, like till you're in Germany, and then you apply for a health insurance. You can already apply for a health insurance from India itself, and it just saves you a lot of stress, and you're already covered from the moment you are in Germany. Super fun thing, and like this is compulsory anyways, and Coracle offers the most student friendly prices, so like you can check that out. If you find better options, like you can definitely try. Like I have worked with Coracle and I've seen like how their services are, so like this is something I can vouch for, and something that I can also very gladly recommend. Then comes the part of finding internship, like till the back time, so till the last slide here. If you get the visa process, great. If you do not get, like if you get the visa, it's great. Of course, if you do not get the visa, one thing that you always have to remember is you can also apply for this reconsideration for the visa. And I think I will be making a video regarding that to like how you can make that thing, and this is going to be extremely important. Now that you just know that this thing happens for the students who want to take up the complete guide to studying in Germany, there will be a coupon towards the end, so you can use that coupon to actually get some discount on the course. So it's pretty, how do I say, advantageous if you decide to stay till the end. Then the internship part. So I know that many of the students who are coming to Germany, like they also want to find an internship, because without an internship, things are pretty useless, in the sense that you wouldn't have anything to show for to the company in which you're applying to. That do you have any kind of like working experience in any kind of German company? Like of course, if you have these student jobs, it's great, it works completely fine too. And then after student jobs, there is a possibility that the same company hires you full time. But if that's not the case, then you can, also do an internship. You can take an Urlaub semester. Urlaub semester is a vacation semester. You take that, and then afterwards you can just, do your internship in any of the companies that you like. So how do you start looking for an internship? So of course you have these major portals, which is like Zing, you have Stepstones, you have LinkedIn, and like you have the other job fairs. Now, and after going through all of these portals, you can make a list of companies, even from some associations. So like I said, I was going to this conference now, and there were also like some kind of associations coming there, and all of these associations have a list of companies which are like affiliated to them, or like which are a member of that association. So you can like pull out the list of different associations, see what kind of companies are there, and like you can just start making a list. and then you can start writing to them. If you have connections in the industry, that's also great. And if you are actually really unsure if you should study in, like, if you do your internship in a company or if you should do an internship in the university, the main thing to understand is that if you want to like go afterwards, for some kind of PhD or something, I would rather like suggest to do your internship in masters and in bachelor's in a university. If you're not really looking forward to that, or like if you want to like keep your options open, have some more practical work experience, then company should be something that you should look forward to. No? And also, like, the fun thing is, like, this is not just where the story ends. Many people think like these are the 4 points and like that's how you find an internship, and like there's no other way to find an internship. And that is like really the story of like more uncreative people who cannot like really think for themselves. um Look at the story of my internship, how I found the internship. Now, so I found my internship in a company called Schleich Bergermann Partner, which were the designers of the Signature Bridge. And well, if some of you know the Signature Bridge, it's a very nice cable straight bridge, very innovative, something which was very new in Germany. And I got to know about them while sitting in a library and reading a journal. The journal was called Indian Road Congress. And in that journal, the professor, the CEO of the company, Professor Schleich, he had a paper inside. So like I went through the paper and I wrote to him that I have read your paper and stuff, and I asked him some really stupid questions, like questions which I would be embarrassed about right now, because like for me the main thing was to start the conversation somehow. Like, how do I start the conversation with the CEO of a company? I think for me the most sensible way was to actually use the paper in which he put a lot of time and effort and actually like start with that. So like he did respond to me, and it was really nice. That's why afterwards we had a few conversations back and forth, and when I asked him like, can I also like apply for an internship here, or like can you give me an internship, well, he stopped responding to my emails, which wasn't um, very encouraging for me. But like I understand like these kind of things, the CEOs get very often, and this is why I applied again, and then I applied again. And so after applying for 3 times and getting rejected from the same company 3 times, the fourth time they accepted me, which was like really nice. And look, like I didn't go through any of this drama, like no Zing, no LinkedIn, no nothing, job fairs or something like that. Sitting in a library, reading a journal, found out the details of a professor, wrote to him. That's it. Then advantages of an internship are, now like you have the strong, like you build a strong profile, and the companies where you would be working at afterwards know that you know the German working culture, which is extremely important if you want to work in Germany afterwards. Then it's easy to find part-time jobs and overturn rejection for masters. So like Professor Schleich also helped me in like forming my reconsideration letter for the TUHS master program, which was extremely nice and like something I will always be very grateful and thankful for. So again, like do not really underestimate the importance of an internship. If you land the right internship, and trust me, like do not go to the local companies which you find in India just because your father has some connection there or your brother has some connection there or something like that, because you are going to actually trade off the long term benefits that you would be having of doing an internship in Germany by just going cheap and like actually finding an internship in India itself. For people who want to find jobs, you have like these two options: employment visa and job seeker visa. There aren't many people who want to come for a job, so I'm going to just like skip this slide. But I would like still suggest that the best way to find a job in Germany is to come for masters. You do the masters, and then afterwards you find the job, because you have 18 months of stay back after your masters is done. So, like you see there at the bottom, story is done, steps is done, and now we come to the part of decisions here. Now, And decision section is going to pretty much help you decide if Germany is the country for you, or like US or UK or Canada, because I will be comparing all of those countries here. If one of those countries could be like something more applicable to you. The problem I see, like, of like not staying in India, and like this is the reason I started Bharat in Germany, like to encourage people to actually, move abroad and just see the kind of different culture which is available here. The reason for me was every single time, well, this is the story of everybody. I think, like, not just me. When you're in your eighth grade, everybody says, like, I don't know how many of you were in this DAV board. Like, I was in the DAV board, so like eighth was also board, and everybody said, like, just study very hard in your eighth, and well, that's great. Like, nothing is going to happen. You don't have to study that hard for 10th. Then you study very hard for 10th. You see nothing is happening. Then your parents say, all right, doesn't matter. You study very hard for 12th, and I will get you some really nice phone. Well, you study very hard for 12th. Now afterwards, you see that you actually are not landing anywhere. Most of the universities where you wanted to study aren't really working out with the kind of grade you have. Nah. And then, of course, bachelor ends, and then you see you are just getting paid maybe 7,000 rupees per month, 10,000 rupees per month, something like that, like very meager amounts of salary. Like that was the case with us, at least in civil engineering in Decrest Murthal. We studied in this university, and the whole batch of civil engineers was being offered just 7 to 10,000 rupees per month, which was horrible. So most of the students, they decide to go for masters. They're like, all right, bachelor's didn't work out, let's go for masters. And masters also, like, things screwed up. Afterwards, they're still not getting a good salary. So they said, all right, doesn't matter, let's do a PhD, and like, let's start teaching children. So this is pretty horrible. And like, to actually get the kind of satisfactory lifestyle that you want to live, you have to keep overqualifying yourself, just because with bachelor's you're not able to earn enough to sustain yourself and live the kind of life that you want. Then you go for masters, the same story, PhD, the same story, and then people start thinking about public sector or some other private sector jobs, and this is like just sad. Abroad, like in general, not just in Germany, in other countries too, like, you have options. Like after bachelor's, you have a way out. Like you can earn enough to sustain yourself and, like, work hard and earn a decent salary. Like you don't have to go for masters if you don't want to. Masters is the same story. If you do your masters, you have a way out. You don't have to go for the PhD. And if you do your PhD, that's the same story. You can again start working somewhere. You don't have to do a DSc or something like postdoctorate. And this is the reason why I think actually going abroad is really nice, because you don't have to get overqualified to get the job that you want. I was reading last time, I think when I was in India, that I think there were openings for clerk positions, and maybe like there were like 100 openings or something. 1 lakh people applied, and afterwards out of those 500 were like PhD people or something. And this is sad. Like this is not something that you see here. Like this is just coming out because of the inefficiency of the working culture, right? And again, like I said, we are going in a funnel again. So like right now we are going to see like what is it going to be, how it is going to be if you decide to live in India, or when you decide to live abroad. And to live abroad, it is very important to understand the kind of lifestyle which you will be having there. And these are the things that I've gathered from my experience of living in Germany for 3 years. So like these were my colleagues at Schleichberger and Partner, and we would like go once a month, or like maybe just like once 2 months in a beer garden, and we would just chill out. We will drink some beer and we will talk, and it was a nice bonding time. But on the contrary, it was also a very strict working culture. Like, you are supposed to put your work in the place before deadline. I think way before deadline. They don't expect you to submit it just 1 minute before or something like that. And there's also like a help yourself mentality. That means like just try to figure things out on your own. Like they do not want you to keep asking questions, and the kind of independence that a person is supposed to have to work in German companies, that is insane. Like, that is something I haven't seen in India that well. Most of us, like, we ask so many stupid questions most of the times, and these questions can be just very easily available if you just look or Google. Nah? Also, take keep an eye on the colors of these bubbles. So like the green one is something which I really like about the lifestyle. The yellow one is something which I like, sometimes like and sometimes don't. And then red one is the high taxes, like the ones which I absolutely hate. It's as simple as that. So like keep keep some kind of consideration for that too. High taxes and social contributions means that you just get less money to spend even after you have a lot of money maybe written in your work contract. Um, Taxes can go as high up to 45%. So again, something that you have to be absolutely careful about. If you if you want to earn like decent money, like maybe Germany is not the place for you. You will not get rich here by doing a job. um, you would get rich here if you come into more higher managerial positions, and that will only happen with learning German. No? Social contribution is something that you also pay, but again, the benefits are a lot for that. Like you have very organized public sector, you have always nice roads, you have everything right on time, and things are subsidized and stuff like that. So like of course like you pay from the pocket, but you also get the value in return. And also like people care way less about what you do now. So like this is also something that I like, that if you go around here with the camera pointed to your face, nobody's looking back and like thinking who is this weird guy and what is he doing. Like you can dress up like a clown and nobody will care about it. Then of course punctuality. Now I mean you're supposed to be punctual, not just punctual, like you have to be at time. Actually, like not even at time, you have to be at the place 5 minutes in advance. If you have some kind of appointment or something, be there 5 minutes in advance, and this is going to actually put a positive impact on the people you're meeting. Individualism, like everybody is there for themselves now. So if you don't have a lot of friends or something, like it might get lonely. I don't know. I mean, it really depends. Some people like being alone. Some people don't. So like it's really something that is pretty much dependent on the personal attitude. Then everything's online. This is really fun, and also like you don't have to pay the electricity bills and everything like every single month manually. You can automate everything. So like there is called this SEPA mandate. So the electricity bills get cut every single month by itself. The telephone internet bill gets cut by itself and things like that, which is like super nice. Then socialization in parties. So like if you're not a party person, well, this might not be something for you. Because most of the times people actually like to like make friends and socialize in parties only. Now otherwise, like either we are at work or we are at somewhere else, and every single time they are having these kind of like filters on. If they are at work, they don't want to make friends. They want to be friendly for sure, but they don't want to like make friends and parties with some alcohol inside. Everybody's happy, everybody's having fun, and like that's where you socialize. Long power distance, that means like boss is like not really like the top always. Like there's also some kind of possibility of talking some sense to him, that maybe the kind of decision that you're taking isn't the best one, and you get respected for that. So like it's not like the employees at the lower hierarchy as like really treated as low class or something like that, which you see very often in India. Pay separately, that means if you are going to any kind of like event or meeting or something, like you're expected to pay your part and the other person will pay their part. Now of course like there's a drinking culture. If you're not into that, then maybe this is not something for you. Then you also have less social pressure. Now yeah, I mean that is also very nice. You can dress up as a clown, nobody cares. And then comes the part of German. Like for some people, German is not such a nice thing. Like they hate that actually German is the language which is used, and this like distracts them. Not even distracts them, but like prevents them from integrating better into the society. But I would rather say, like, like, yeah, it is a hurdle in the starting, but afterwards, if you learn German, like, you just feel at home. Like, it's that much of a difference. Of course, work hard, play hard. That's also a pretty, how do I say, anchoring characteristic of the lifestyle here. So that was the lifestyle. And after the lifestyle, I think it is very important for you to understand yourself, that is it some kind of scenario where you see yourself to be fitting inside. Because if you don't trust me, like right now, it just sounds fun of like to come to Germany and like do all of these things, but I've seen people go back a lot of times, and most of the times it is just because they are not well prepared. They do not know what kind of things were awaiting them, and this is the reason they just completely dropped everything and left back for India. Nah? All right, we are heading towards the end now, slowly and slowly. This is going to be Germany over other countries. That means I will try to make a case for Germany in comparison to other countries like US, Australia, Canada, and UK and stuff. Nah? So UK, things are getting already very bad with like the crazy immigration and like how things have gotten ruined completely. Like Germany is still not at that stage. Um, you see what kind of things are happening in London, the kind of different districts which are built for immigrants now. Not built, but have become like that. So immigrants start settling in one district, the natives are settling in other district and stuff, and this is just horrible. Canada is still fine, but like again, Canadian dollars, the value of the dollar is low, and yeah, it's still not something that you should go to in case you are looking for like more opportunities and stuff like that. Australia is a nice place if you want to earn a lot of money and stuff. Um, like fast PR and everything, like you will get all of that in Australia, not a problem at all. So like you can do that, but for me the problem is like Australia is pretty much at the really at the end of the world, and I would rather be in Europe where like there's a better opportunity to go to US and like also to come to India real quick. And also just the European Union itself. So like this is my case for Germany, that you have free education first of all, like that is going to stay free, not just for you, also for your children and stuff. Then you have one of the lowest unemployment rates in Europe, like which is just 3.5% or something. And the normal unemployment rate is, if you have studied economics, then it's like 4 to 5% or something, which is like in Germany it's still like way lower than that. Then you have a safe environment. Now you have proper organization and public authorities. It is also a place where you can raise a family. I think the reason like these meetups were also like our last meetups in India was because of the chaos and kind of like insecurity which like surrounds everybody. Like things can go wrong really quickly. Like maybe the story is different in the south, because in south we still felt that things are more civilized. In north, especially in Haryana, when we have seen like it's just absolutely nuts. Like you have no idea when things can go wrong and when things wouldn't. So like again, you have to understand that if you want to raise a family, like you have seen already the problems with women, like how unsafe things still are. Even if people say that things are getting better, I don't see things getting better anywhere. So this is, I think, maybe the main reason I would like rather also stay in Germany, because this is pretty much a place where you can raise the family and you can still feel safe of like for sending them out and stuff. Then of course you have strong public transportation. I was talking to Parth, like the other YouTuber who makes videos about US, and he was telling me like, without a car it is really horrible to go around, because the buses are very ill placed and sometimes just the transit time can be half an hour or something. So this is again something that you have to understand, that life without a car is 100% possible in Germany. Now you can go anywhere from one place to the other place purely by public transportation, which is absolutely nuts. And also because you're in the EU, you have free movement of goods, people, and services, which is also very nice. And talking about safety, like it's not just with the car thing. Like in US, because of the like no gun control and stuff, like you see like shooting happening every single day. You never know what. Like Parth also like uploaded this video about racism. If you like if you saw that video, and it's horrible like how retarded like people can get. And yeah, it's like it's not something I would call safe. I would say like, all right, it's a great place to like chill out on a long, I don't know, holidays or something, but not still safe. Cons, of course, in Germany, like weather. I don't really like the weather. It's raining most of the times, which isn't that nice for me. I don't like too much rain. And also like high taxes and social contributions. Like Germany is known for that. Like if you go towards Scandinavia, if you go to Denmark, Sweden, Norway, it's even worse there. But like still like Germany is also like pretty bad in that. So you have to keep all of these things in mind before you decide for one single country. For US, I have made a video with a guy. With US, I've made a video with Parth. For Australia, I've made a video with Arpit. Not a video, like it's a video series, like 5 videos, so you can check them out. With Canada, I have made a video with my brother. Now, so like you can just go through them and you can see like what kind of different experiences people have. Now again, we are going in the funnel again. I've told you, like what kind of country is better and what kind of country isn't. Now, if you decide to come for Germany afterwards, like let's take a look if Germany is really necessary or not. Because many people say that Germany isn't necessary. You can also like come to Germany and live here very easily without any kind of German proficiency. Let's see what the case is going to be. Let's think a guy who is coming just with English proficiency, and let's see another one who is coming also with the German proficiency. So with the English proficiency, like of course the daily life is going to be more difficult because the locals or the old people do not know German that much. Now it is harder to find German friends because every single time you have to like explain your joke to somebody, it just gets annoying after a while. Just because the other person doesn't know the language, it just becomes a bit less fun because you cannot convey the same kind of feelings and gestures to the other person, right? So this is a sad thing. I mean, like, but that's the case. Like, if you are just having English proficiency, it is going to be harder to make German friends. There are lesser work opportunities, because English proficiency is mainly used in the MNCs, and MNCs are very limited in Germany, or like that to say, like in most of the countries, anyways. Now you have lesser pay in comparison to the German proficiency people because the employer can just give you lesser tasks. If somebody has German proficiency, they can also be delegated to like talk to the public authorities or be in some kind of business meetings and stuff. But if you don't have any German proficiency, like that is going to hurt actually. That is going to be something that you will actually see a problem with. Now, of course, not the same kind of respect at work. And this is something like which Alina told me very clearly that, even though they do not say it at your face, but if you do not know German, you are not going to have the same kind of respect that you would have if you also know German language, because they see like you actually put some efforts inside and actually staying and living here. And also it is harder to integrate into the German society. Like that's like something that goes without saying. Like imagine me like not being able to speak German. I would have never been able to talk with my in-laws. Like I would have never been able to talk with Alina's family and stuff. No. And because I know German, it was way easier for me, and everything felt like a family. Everything felt really homely, and which is like really something which is irreplaceable. With German proficiency, of course, you have more job opportunities, right? You have lesser competition because, well, people most of the times are lazy. They do not learn German. And you also have more acceptance and respect, which is extremely nice. Also, like life will be very easier and more fun. And if you want to raise a family, like this German proficiency thing, it's an absolute must, because like you have to fill out different forms. You have to keep an eye of different kind of notices and stuff which are coming out in the kindergarten and stuff like that. So again, something that you should definitely take a look at. And to summarize everything, if you're just coming to Germany, with English proficiency, you will be actually surviving instead of living. And do not really believe anybody else who says something else, because that's really not the case. Um, then afterwards, with German proficiency, you reap all of the benefits, which is also extremely nice. Then again, like, where do you learn German? Like, because you have figured out that you want to come to Germany, and then afterwards you're seeing if German is really necessary, which it is. Then you see, like, where do you actually learn German? Like, do you learn German in India or in Germany or online? So my problem with learning German in Germany is it's just like way more expensive, like 500 to 2000 euros per level. And this is also the money that you can use somewhere else. Like, people say, like, you learn faster, but you can also learn faster in India if you just put more efforts inside. Of course, you see words everywhere. Like, you can also use those words, but I don't think it is something which is going to be, worth 500 till 2000 euros per level, and the extra costs you will be incurring per month. So like 700 euros, 600 euros, 700 euros per month that you will be having just for living and like other expenses. Then pros are, like, of course, it's affordable. If you want to study German in India, that's extremely nice. You also do not have any visa pressure. In Germany, that's also a horrible thing, that you have a pressure of visa that, you have to learn German till this time. Maybe you cannot, then you have to actually go back, and like, again, too many costs and stuff, which is not really nice. Then you can also apply when everything is done. Like, you just stay in India, you learn, just a second. Alright, so language isn't used in daily life. First of all, like, that's the big problem of actually learning German in India. Like, this is a huge issue, that you either would be just speaking in Hindi, you would be speaking in your mother tongue, or you would be speaking in English. And that is an issue when you want to actually like practice German. And there are also, like, most of the times availability of language courses nearby. So like, if you're living in a small city, which I was doing, so I studied my bachelor's from D. Krishnamurthy, like I said, and there was no language course nearby. Like, of course, they were in Delhi, but like, to go to Delhi, it would take like 1 hour or something every single day to go there, and then like 1 hour coming back, and then actually like the in-city transportation and everything, which would just take a lot of time away. So that was the problem with me. But in India, for example, there's this language institute called Language Pantheon, which is in New Delhi. Like, that is so nice that you can actually learn German from absolute zero till B2 in just around 2 months. Now, and I mean, this is just absolutely crazy. Like, if you put efforts inside, if you like go there every single day, if you actually do the way they are telling you to do, and you can actually end up with the B2 level maybe in 3 months, maybe in maximum 4 months, but not more than that. If you go to some other language institute, it is possible that it takes you up to 9 months just to reach the B2 level. Now, that is again the thing with learning German in India. But if you want to learn German online, like, of course, you do not waste any time in traveling. The flexible like working hours, you can see when you want to learn German, and the cost is very cheap. So you're not spending anything in transportation, and you're not actually spending per level. You pay once for example, maybe the entire A1 to B1 course from Michael, and that is extremely nice. Otherwise, if you see at Goethe, like, you have to pay 23,000 for every single level. In this course from Michael, you pay just 23,000 once for like A1 to B1. The con here is like there is no real interaction, but again, like, this is something that you have to look for yourself if maybe online course is something for you. For example, for me, it would have been something if this course was out when I was actually starting, when I was learning German, no? But the course wasn't out yet. If it was there, I would have definitely taken it. Because you are just living in a remote area, you do not have time or the resources to like, go somewhere and learn German, then like online German learning could be something for you. So again, the link of this course is also going to be in the description. Now, like in case, so like I said, if you want to learn German in Germany, you will find a lot of different language institutes, not a problem at all. If you want to learn German in India, of course you will find language institutes. Like the one that I know and which is nice is the one in New Delhi, the Language Pantheon. It's a pretty nice language institute. You can take a look there. But if you want to come for the online courses, then like Michael's course is something that I would definitely recommend. He's a native German teacher and he has over like now around over 20 years of teaching experience to foreigners, absolute foreigners, nothing else. And he also has like regular live Q&As. So if you are having any kind of problems with German or something, you can just like talk to him regarding that in his Q&A sessions. And he also has very good reviews on this course, so like you can also check that out. Then 30-day money refund policy, if you're like just looking for trying, and like if you want to see if you like the course or something, you can take a look here. And also like you can learn German from home and you can learn smarter. Like that is something which is pretty much the unique selling point of this course. Like you can just do everything on your pace. Like this is why I recommend this. So this is the last slide now, and afterwards we will be taking up the questions for the last 20 minutes. Now, because the whole idea of this live session was to like help you make the final decision, like, you know, if Germany is the country for you, like great, you know, I've told you everything that you need to know to make the decision for or against Germany. But towards the end, if you really want to see if this is the right time to make the decision or not, I will be putting out some points in front of you. The first one is, of course, like, you know, you have a better standard of living in Germany compared to India. You have better opportunities, you have better paid jobs, you have clean atmosphere. Well, it was horrible when we were in Delhi, like how smoggy everything was that you are not able to see anything, and the pollution was actually something which was really going to our nerves. Now, safety is a huge issue there. Like here things are really safe. You live longer because of the clean atmosphere and the better food. There are also like more time to do the things you like. So like if you have any kind of hobby or something, you would be able to do it on your own. Like you have Saturday and Sunday. Like of course you do it on your own, but you have Saturday and Sunday to do these things. In India, you know, you never know when your boss calls you and tells you to come on a weekend, which is not nice, which is absolutely horrible. So you have more time to do the things that you like. You have more time to invest in your hobbies. You have better organizations in public authorities. And like I said, you have like, of course, like respectful and professional people there who are actually working for you. So like their main job is to help you out, nothing else. In India, you see like absolutely different things. Their main job is to like try to just figure out how much money they can take from you as a bribe or something like that. I just don't like the culture there. Then of course you have a great environment to raise a family, and people follow rules without exception. So there was this elevator rule that I was telling you in the video, like Germany 101, like you can definitely check it out. And things like these, you can just see that it is like very nice that you don't have to actually fight with everybody to just tell them, you know, like this is the rule and this is how you have to do things. Like do not throw rubbish on the street, or like walk on the pedestrian walk and do not walk on the street and stuff like that. In India, like these kind of like tiny things which cause you a lot of stress actually like just accumulate towards the end. So again, something that you should like absolutely remember. So even if you value one of these things strongly, you know, enough to change your life, like, then really like now is the time. And it's like not even like now is the time as in I want to like push everybody to just come here. But from now is the time, I mean that slowly rules in Germany are also going to get stricter. It's not going to stay the same, and it will actually become, yeah, it will just become like US. It's like horrible to most of the times immigrate there, and like masters cost something and stuff like that. Germany is still like on the safer side. Germany is still not suffering through all of those problems. So if you want to come, then you should like really start thinking about these things very seriously, because otherwise things just get late. You can like still keep asking your questions, like very basic and like normal questions, but without any real intent of coming here. And this is also the reason this is going to be my last live session on YouTube, because I see people asking the same like very like general questions over and over again, but they do not have any intention of actually coming to Germany or start their process here. This is why I will be taking the live sessions after this one in my online course, which is the Everything About Studying in Germany, the complete guide. So the online course is called Complete Guide to Studying in Germany, and everything that you need to know is in just one place. It has over 80 plus detailed lessons. So like if you enjoy the live sessions, you will be definitely enjoying this. And it has lifelong access. So you are enrolled in the course 1. You have information for bachelor's, you have information for master's, you have information for PhD. So like you will have all of that information in just one single place. Bi-weekly live sessions in the BIG Enrolled Students group. We have a separate Facebook group for the students who are in that, and we have bi-weekly live sessions there. So because the live sessions will be closing on YouTube because of these like same like over and over like random and redundant questions again, the more serious students will be actually like will be able to ask their questions in this one. Then of course you have the information regarding application process, you have the information regarding the after arrival process, you have information for visa process, how do you settle in Germany, how do you learn the culture, the part-time jobs, the integration in the German culture, and everything combined, right? So all of these things are in one single place. So if you want to save your time and like do not want to figure out like what is the right information and like what are the best way to do things, I would highly recommend you to join my course. And the enrollment will be open only for today, because afterwards I will be closing the enrollment to start the curriculum for everybody together, because every single time when somebody comes in the middle, it's not so nice, the whole curriculum gets disturbed, and the coupon code for this is going to be towards the end. And this is the end. Like I said, we will have the next 20 minutes for your questions. Like I said, enrollment in the course closes tomorrow for the complete guide to studying in Germany. And the relevant courses is of course like on this one, you can get 30% off with Big Meetup 30. Now you can like enroll for it. And on the Michael's course, you have 10% off with the link below. The coupon code is also called Bharat in Germany. Alright, so we have 20 minutes. This is the last live session. Let's see what kind of questions we are getting. I'm putting the coupon code also inside here. 30% off. Alright, so start asking your questions, because we have another, I think now we have 17 minutes left, not more than that. Alright. Keshav Goyal is saying, my father is against me for moving to Germany because of late PR thing and cannot keep our parents with us. I mean, I don't understand. How can you let your parents like decide so much of your life? I mean, for me, it was never a problem, because parents were always supporting me with what I wanted to do, because they are not the ones who have to like make you or like push you in living the kind of life that you want to live. It's something that you have to decide on your own. So like, if you want to build a life for yourself in Germany, then great. If you don't, and like you want to actually rely on your father's decisions and like suggestions still, then like I don't know if it could be something that you would be able to survive in Germany for the longer term. PR is not that late. PR you get just in 5 years. If you do your masters, you can get this Niederlassungserlaubnis just after 2 years of like social contributions payment. You pay the social contributions for 2 years, and that's it, done. Nah? Let me put it here and let me put it back so that we can see the questions. All right. So, Shubham Das Gupta, you want to make more live stream, but would you still continue to create YouTube videos? Yes, Shubham, actually, in fact, I just made a video with Alina, and the video will be up very soon. I wanted to upload it before, and the video's title is like our experiences with the German working culture. No? It's a very interesting video. Alina and I, we sit together and we are like explaining our like experiences with that. So this is something that you can take a look at. Like you should like stay in tune for that. But live sessions I will not be taking anymore because I feel like they're a bit of a time waste because people ask very like really random questions. Um, Iranian Ravanan is asking, how does East Germany and West Germany differs in the perspective of a master student? So I would still say like in East Germany there are still problems of like more, kind of racist mentality. Like not all of them, but like still in some spots there is a problem. West Germany doesn't have that. In East Germany, you also have lesser salary, like in comparison to West Germany. And this is like not just something that I'm saying. Like if you Google it, and if you go through the different resources, the German resources, which are actually stating these things, you will see that this is actually a problem. Om Agrawal, Bharat, I have decided to do A1 to B1 in language pantheon and B2 to C1 in Germany. Is it wise? I am preparing for bachelor's. I don't see a point in just like if you have the opportunity of doing everything in India, like why don't you do it there? And then you don't have this kind of at least language learning stress in Germany. Like then you do not have to focus on that. Then you just focus on purely the administrative things, right? So Rishabh God says, please, hi Bia, in Delhi seminar you told to do bridge engineering considering the salary and the job opportunities. Should I come to course as yours, engineering and management, or go to civil engineering field only? So I think this is very interesting because for me the main reason to actually not do civil engineering anymore was salary itself. Salary of civil engineers isn't great anywhere. Like civil engineers are anyways the lowest paid engineers in all of the all of these different trades. In Germany it's the same case. So if you're doing international management engineering, maybe after your master's is done, you would still be able to earn around like 4,800 euros or something like that. With civil engineering, it's just like 3,300 euros, which is like really horrible and really less. Like I don't like that kind of salary, and especially after working for such a long time. Like you study for 2 years or 3 years, especially in civil engineering, because very less people are able to finish their studies in just 2 years. In management, you finish in 2 years, you still have nice salary. In civil engineering, you just do it for like 3 years or something, and like even after that, you're just getting paid 3,300. So like if you have the opportunity, Rishabh, definitely try to come for this one. Here you have to like write the IELTS exam. You also have to write the test staff exam. So like you need both of the proficiencies, but they also pay you very well afterwards. Alright, so we have Prakar Saxena asking anything related to masters in supply chain management in Germany. So like what kind of question is this, and be more specific. Kavish Arbab is asking, Bharat, do we need blocked account for both the years of masters? So Kavish, like I explained in the video, in some states you need for both of the years. In Hamburg, for example, the case is you just do it, you make the blocked account for 1 year. That's it. With that you get the visa extension for 1 year, and then for the second year you can just directly show your savings in the normal savings account, like your normal German account. You don't need to make another blocked account for that. I forgot to put the last detail inside, sorry. So the last detail is that the next exclusive live session for enrolled students is on 21st April. Because like the live sessions will be getting closed on YouTube. Anyways. So, Smita Rajbongshi is saying, I took TOEFL and got 89. I have to retake. Should I take IELTS or TOEFL? I don't know. Like, I cannot say that because like for that, it means I have to actually have written both TOEFL and IELTS, and I have only written IELTS. And IELTS is actually easy. It's not so difficult. So you should definitely take, you can try IELTS. Like I found it easy, not a huge problem. You can try with that. So Alok Ranjan is asking, hello sir, I'm in Germany right now for my masters and I have learned German till B2, but the problem I'm facing right now is the German speak so fast that I'm not able to understand, so can't reply. Hello, come on. With B2 you can't like understand Germans and like they speak so fast. I don't believe that. I was able to understand Germans when I was just having B1 proficiency. Like that's how it works. Like maybe it just takes a bit of time, like for me too, when I was actually in the classes, it took me at least 3 weeks to get used to the pace. Nah? Maybe that is the case with you right now. Maybe that's what you're suffering with right now, but hopefully it gets better. So don't worry too much about it. Just try to listen to more like video series on Netflix. Everything that you watch, you can also watch it in German. So like I used to do it for a while, or you can watch it in English and like put the subtitles in German and stuff like that. Just do that. Like this is a learning process. Like the more interactions you have, the more people you meet, like the more you will learn. Like there is really no alternative to that. All right, so Ghazli Varsi is asking how to give test stuff in India. Ghazli, you just Google that. Like this is not a good question. You just Google that. It's very simple to give the test stuff in India. And if you're from other country, then you just not take the normal even tourist visa. And with the tourist visa, you can come and write the test stuff in India. So AM is saying, I found that MIM program in TUM Heilbronn University is free of cost. So want to know that for 18 months course, how much will it cost me for everything including academics, food and accommodation? Like I showed you, 8,640 euros is something that you pay for the first year. That means for if it's 18 months, make the amount half. So the next year it is going to be 4,320, and then you add both of them, and that is going to be somewhere around 12,980 euros. Nah, I don't know. So simple, man. Spandan Manna Bharat, do I have to show 8,640 euros for the second year too? Spandan, for the second year, like I said, in some states it's different. For other states it's also different. In Hamburg, you do not have to show the 8,640 euros as a blocked account for the second year. If you have a part-time job, you can show that. It is also going to work out. But in general, most of the times you get visa extension on the basis of how much money is there in your bank account. Alright, so what are the difficulty faced during German taught program? I think the Hilaria was asking that. I think the biggest problem is anyways the speed. I think we have to stop Hilaria from this. I have put the user in timeout. Yeah. So, the main problem is anyways, I think most of the times you are not able to catch up with the pace that the professors are teaching at. And then of course you are always at a normal disadvantage that you as an Indian of course know better English, but Germans know better German. That means any kind of, assignments that you have to give, any kind of, how do I say, these presentations that you have to give in German, they're like you are a bit in a disadvantage. Like I think that is pretty much the major thing, but it gets better over time. Like with like everything, it always gets better. Nah. Varis Hussain, after 12th, can I take break of 6 months to learn German and then apply for student colleague? Is there a deadline for student colleague too? Yes, Varis, you can take a break of 6 months. It's not a problem at all, and it is rather the recommended thing to do because it takes time till you get your 12th results, right? So yeah, you can do that. And for student colleague, there are like 2 deadlines most of the times. Again, for the winter and the summer intake. For example, in Hamburg, the deadline ends on 1st September. Around 1st September, the deadline ends, and then the student colleague starts in October or something. So you just have to go to the specific student colleague's website. You will find more information in my online course or on studentcolleagues.de. Like, you can just check these out. Vishwas Goda. Alright. Thanks, Vishwas. All right, I think I'm going to take the last question and then we are going to wrap this up. Rajendra Prajapati is saying, is immigration law going to change in the future? Will I be able to take my parents after PR? And if I'm planning to go in 2021, will at that time education in Germany will still be free? So I would say like education in Germany will still be free, like because this is pretty much which is ingrained in the core values of the society that education should stay free for the students. So I'm not worried about that, but the PR laws will not change that you can take your parents with you. Like parents can come to you for a long duration. They can stay with you for like 3 months, even like they can live with you for 1 year if that's possible, because you just have to show the sponsorship letter then. No? So that is not the issue. The problem is still going to be that you will never be able to bring them with you for like an indefinite period of time. If that would be the case, all of the Turkish people who are like living in Germany, they would have brought their entire families, and not just parents, like cousins, sisters, like I don't know, everything. And they do have a lot of people in their families, and this is why the pretty much the rules started, and like this is why it is going to stay. So I think last 4 minutes we have, and do I need work experience to do masters in Germany? Tanish Tambe is asking. So you do not need work experience for doing masters in Germany. Like I said, like I started my masters right after bachelor's. The only work experience I had at that time was pretty much my internship itself. Nothing else. No? So Bhuvan Pancholi is saying, my consultant is saying I can't get masters German taught program in technology with wow. Well, don't worry about your consultant. With 58%, you will still get the German taught program. I've seen people getting the English taught program with 59%. So like 58% is like not so bad. Don't worry about it. And like again, like if you want to like outsource your life decisions to your consultants, like of course it doesn't really make any sense. Hi Abhishek, hi Soham. Nice to have both of you here. Now Vikas is asking, is there any difference in job opportunities for students doing masters in FH compared to universities and TUs? So I would say like for some universities it does make a huge difference. And for this I have actually made a video. No, I haven't, but I will make a video regarding this soon then. Some companies like McKinsey, they will tell you right away that if you're not studying in a technical university, or like if you're not studying in a university, we will not be taking you because we believe the education that is required to work with us is only given in a TU or a university, right? So some companies like that have these kind of barriers, like just the students from university or TU can come. But most of the universities and most of the institutions, they do not make a difference. That means even if you're from FH, if you're from TU, it doesn't matter. Job opportunities aren't going to be that different. Nirman Sharma is asking, should I worry about reputation of unis outside TU9? Well, if you want to take these kind of weird worries, then you can also like a lot of my worries, man. Like I'm studying in a university outside TU9 and I don't see a difference. I don't see when I'm talking with somebody from TUM or RWTH or anybody else that, hey, our course is so much better, this and this is happening. Nobody gives a shit. It's just something that the universities tied together. TUHH wasn't even there when this TU9 cluster was formed. So TUHH is a pretty new university, and universities change all the time. You get a bad professor in the university, things go to shit. You get a good one, things get better. And it's also like pretty much on how they manage the students, and it keeps on changing all the time. It changes with the kind of people who are working in the universities, right? So I wouldn't worry about it too much at all. Like this is like you have to decide about the course. Just decide the course. Course is always the king. You decide everything around the course that you want to study. What kind of university to pick, what kind of city to pick, what kind of specialization to pick and so on. So like figure out the course and like don't worry about the universities. Like these are really useless things. Okay. Yes. Abhishek, the next live session is going to be on 21st April for the enrolled students. So do not worry about it. The Phenomenals is asking, Bhaiya, please answer how to maximize the chance of admission in Germany after doing first year of bachelor's in India. Like I would say, like try to get the best grades that you can. Really. Swapnil, the live session for the enrolled students is going to be on 21st April. So don't worry. And then afterwards, we are going to take everything like normally, right? So that's that. Nah, in any case, thanks a lot for joining in for the live session, and then you can come and check out my online course, because live sessions are not going to be there anymore on YouTube, at least for a long time, because of like a lot of personal reasons. So the next live session will be in the BIG Academy enrolled students group, and that is where I'm going to able to see you. Anyways, it was fun, all of these live sessions doing with you and taking up these questions, but from now it wouldn't be possible for me, unfortunately. But in any case, thanks a lot for joining in. I'll see you in some other video. Bye.